Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am creating a slimline card with the Create and Inkspire card kit from July 2020. Create and Inkspire is an online publication created by Courtney Kreber. There is a very small membership fee where you can get creative content and connect with other creators just like yourself. So she also has started doing card kits. This is the one from July. It was her very first one, and we're just going to look at all the contents in there before we start creating with it. There is a supply card and a cute little treat. There is some Nuvo masking fluid, which I did not end up using in today's video. Some Nuvo shimmer powder in Sunray Crochet, some Trinity stamp embellishments that are gorgeous, some twine. There are two stamp sets. This is the Wildflowers 4x6 stamp set and the Wildflower Sentiments. There are two stencils. This is the Wildflower Meadow, and then we have the Grass and Cloud stencil, which is always good for any time. We have an assortment of cardstocks here. There are two pieces of 110-pound bright white smooth cardstock by Mohawk, one piece of Nina Desert Storm cardstock, one piece of Ivory Sheen pearlescent cardstock, and these two pieces of cardstock are Perfect Watercolor by Tonic. So now here are all the things in this kit, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm creating a slimline watercolor card, so I did not end up using the cardstock from this kit. I tried it on the white that was in there. It just wasn't the right texture for what I wanted to do. So I pulled out my watercolor cardstock and am mixing some of that shimmer powder in with some green watercolor from ARTEZA. I'm just gonna lay a little layer of the green down here, pouncing it on, rubbing it on, and getting kind of a decent amount of watercolor, but not too much, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, so we'll just put that on, and then I wanted to make this look like a grassy meadow. So I'm going to use some upward brush strokes to get that look. This card is pretty much a one-layer card. So I'm going to build up layers on this one piece of watercolor, and this is the base layer. So for the top above the grass there, I'm going to use the shimmer powder kind of like watercolor. So mixing in a decent amount of water, and I'm just going to paint that upper portion of the card, bringing it down towards the grass and having it get lighter and thinner as I get towards that area. And this is just going to be the base for my cloudy sky that I will put on here shortly. So this adds so much shimmer to this card. When you hold this card in the light and you tilt it, you get that beautiful shimmer. And also, if you like this card, if you like this kit, make sure that you leave me a comment below, because I'm actually going to be gifting the rest of this kit and my card to one of you. What I want to know is, have you heard of Create and Inkspire before today? If you're familiar with it, are you already a member there? Have you purchased the kit? Do you have this kit? I would just love to know what you know about Create and Inkspire, because I think it's really important for us to show support to our fellow crafters. It's such a fun community to be a part of, and I love that once I meet somebody that has this crazy love of paper crafting like myself, that person is instantly my friend. And I just think that once we help and support each other, it makes us all better. So let me know what you know about Create and Inkspire, and if you would like to give it a try, the August kit is already out, and I have a picture of that at the end of the video, and also a link to where you can check that out. All right, so I just used my grassy meadow, Mowed Lawn, the Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide ink, and the Meadow stencil to create the second layer of this card. And then the cloud stencil across the top for a more detailed sky. I love the golden colors for a sky for that fun fall look or sunset look. I also used my sponge after I did the stenciling to add a little bit more color around those clouds to soften out the harshness of them. And then I'll use the grass across the bottom to ground the images from that meadow stencil. And of course, since I use Distress Oxide, I will bring in my sprayer and splatter this thing because I love splatter. I love the dreamy look that you get when you splatter things. Isn't it fabulous? But maybe you don't like yours as abstract. Like, it kind of gives an abstract feel to it. All right, so as if that was not enough splatter, let's add some shimmer powder in the form of splatter on this card as well. And I like to use a little window sheet, and this paintbrush is like fluffy. It doesn't come to a point. It's scraggly. It works really well for splattering. And then of course you have more shimmer. It's a win-win. All right, so I'm going to take all the flowers from the Wildflowers stamp set and arrange them how I like them across this Slimline card. By the way, this panel measures 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. So when I mount it onto my Slimline card, I am going to have a little border all the way around. I am stamping these images with VersaFine Onyx black ink. This ink is great for this card because it's a hybrid ink. It has pigment in it. So that means it works great for stamps that are very detailed. It works great on textured paper like watercolor paper, and it works great for watercoloring because once this ink is dry, it is permanent. You can heat set it or just give it some time to dry, but make sure you give it that time because it can smear if you don't. All right, so for this card, I am painting over some already colored background. So I wanted to go with colors that were similar in the same color family, the same kind of tones. So I am painting the flowers with some teal ink or paint, paint, and then some kind of jade green for the leaves on these flowers. And again, I just want to say I am not a professional watercolorist. If you're really into that, I'm sure you can critique my technique here quite a bit, but I do it because it is fun, it's relaxing, and I think that is why we do this, right? It fills our cup to be able to be artistic. Even if I'm not an artist and I can't draw these flowers, being able to create with them and paint them is very therapeutic because I get to be artistic. And then I get to share this, something that brought me joy, with somebody else and hopefully bring them some joy. And then there's also the joy of creating with your friends, which isn't that long overdue. Are you missing that as much as I am? I used to have some shoebox swaps with my stamping friends in my craft studio, and it was just so much fun. We'd each plan a card and then we'd make each other's cards. Like, you'd bring all the things for everybody else to make your card. It's so much fun and it's long overdue, and I can't wait to fill my craft room with my stamping friends again. It'll be great. All right, so I used that shimmer powder again to paint the centers of my flowers. And now I'm just looking at the color chart that came with my ARTEZA paints to kind of figure out a darker color that's going to work well for a little bit of shadowing on each of these flowers, just to give them a little bit more interest. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think that this one layer scene is just kind of a soothing type scene, and I did one layer without using the masking fluid. That makes me very pleased with myself. Masking in and of itself is kind of scary to me, and Courtney Krieber is like the queen of masking. She really is. I watch her and I'm always like, I could do that, but it actually scares me. I should challenge myself to do it some more, definitely. All right, so I'm stamping the saying "Missing You Today." I thought it was perfect for this card. And then I will add some highlights to all the things with my white Jelly Roll pen. I love adding the white highlights. It's like my current favorite thing to do. It just brings me so much joy to, I don't know, bring the images that I've just colored to life. And I do kind of try to pay attention to like a light source and where the light would hit things, but I don't always get it right. But I have fun doing it. Right? And that's the goal. That's the important part. So we'll just finish those out and adding, I like to add lines and dots, and they really, I don't know, just look like they're in a sunset with these highlights on them. So we'll mount that onto a 9 by 8 inch piece of cardstock that has been scored at 4 inches. This is my favorite size of slimline card. It fits perfectly in the business size envelopes that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. So those are the cards that I mostly make. Now there are a lot of slimline dies out there, so if you're using those, you might have to adjust the size of your slimline card, but it's not an exact science, a slimline card. You really have to go by the envelope that you're using, or find an envelope that fits the card that you made, because that's usually how I work. I make the card and then I seek out the envelope. Yeah, that's usually the case because the creativity comes first in my stamp room anyway, and then the planning will come after that. All right, so I'm adding these fabulous gems. They're iridescent, so you know when you tilt them in the light you get different colors. Gorgeous. So I put as many on there as I could, and this is my favorite thing in this kit. I love them. So that is today's card. If you like this card, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and make sure you comment, because in a week's time I will be giving away the rest of this kit. It was given to me so I could help share about Create and Inkspire, so I want to pay it forward. So leave me a comment. This is the August kit. Isn't that cool? All the rainbow things. So much fun. There's stencils, pastes, the tools for using the paste, and such fun stamp sets. I'll put a link to that below so you can check it out and find out more about Create and Inkspire as well. Thanks so much for watching. Happy stamping. Bye.